everybody, this is Lady Metal D. Before we get started, I always talk about the glare in my glasses and how I am working on it. It's a little bit better than my other videos. I could just not wear my glasses, but I can't see and it freaks me out. So, let's get started. This is a Lady Uncensored Rant. Okay, I'm going to talk about something that is going to be disagreed with almost across the board. I am going to defend GameStop. Okay, people don't like their trade-in policy, which is basically you're selling them a game back that you bought. You buy a $60 game and you go in there, you didn't like it, and you want to sell back the game, and you're pissed because they won't give you a whole lot of money for it. But you are essentially trying to sell them a used game, and their trade-in policies, their policies of giving cash back and stuff are, everybody knows them. Everybody knows them. There's a bunch of fucking videos all over the place. So why don't we place some of the blame on the damn consumer? You bought the game. You're trying to sell it. If you don't like it, if you don't like the practices of GameStop, then don't go there. Go to your local pawn shop, and I promise you, they are not going to give you they're not going to give you that much money, or sell it on your own and quit griping about that. It is time for the consumers to take some kind of responsibility for it. If you buy a car from a car dealership and you buy it for $9,000, you drive away, and guess what? That car has just dropped in value. If you wanted to sell it the next day, you are only going to get the blue book value of that car. So, I mean, it's basically the same principle, right? Okay, if you bought a game brand new and it was defective, you actually can take it back and exchange it for the same game. I've done that before. If you buy a used game, you have 7 days to bring it back, and you can get a full refund, or you could trade it for a game with the same value. So, let's use this as an example, because I'm using this as an example because it happened. Halo 5 comes out, and I wait about 2 weeks, and I go to GameStop, and I buy it. Pre-owned. I buy it pre-owned. Guess what? I saved $5, and guess what else? Now this game is a pre-owned game, and I can actually take it back. I could have took it back within 7 days of the purchase, and got my money back. Has anybody thought of that? And this wasn't the only game that they had already pre-owned. I bought Assassin's Creed 2 as a pre-owned game, and when you go in there, you'd be surprised how many pre-owned games they will have right after the release date. So there is a loophole right there. When people gripe and bitch, has anybody thought of that yet? Another thing I like about GameStop is I like my power-up rewards points. I have 75,000, and when I finally buy a PS4, I'm going to wait until they have a double points deal. That's actually what the employees will do if they're planning on buying a console. They'll wait till they get double points. It's actually a really cool idea, and the catalog has some really neat stuff. I like my power-up rewards points. The staff at the GameStop, they're always really nice and they're really polite, but it's actually one of the worst companies to work for because of the consumer, because of the customers, because you're very well aware of their trade-in policy, but you want to go in there and scream and yell at a employee anyways. I've seen people make such a scene, just throwing a fit, and they still sit there calmly, coolly, and collected, polite, and they just take it. They just take it. And I've seen people throw a fit to the point where I was thinking, you know, the cops need to be called. This is ridiculous. They are treating these employees like shit. Just treating them like shit, even though you're well aware of how much you're probably going to get for that damn game. That's not fair. I've also been in GameStop, and I was browsing through games, and a little boy came in there. He wasn't even tall enough to go look over the counter, and he's trying to buy GTA. And so they explained to him, you can't buy that. That's rated M. You need your parent to come buy it. So the mom comes busting in there because she's sitting in the damn car and she's throwing a fucking fit that she had to get out of the car. Why can't her son buy this? I mean, Holy shit. And the GameStop employee has to bite their tongue when they really want to say, your son should not be playing this damn game. So after she left, I asked, how does that happen a lot? It does, especially with regular customers. It happens a lot. They think since they go in there and they pre-ordered the game, since, you know, a parent pre-ordered the game, that their child should be able to go in there and pick it up. It's fucking ridiculous. And apparently it happens all the time. Fun fact, at the GameStop I go to, there's a tanning bed, like one of those tan fucking places. I don't know, I don't tan. I don't want to get skin cancer. But the women go in there and they send their kids into the GameStop to play the games. All the time. Every fucking day. All the time. Anyone that has kids uses the GameStop for babysitting. And I feel so sorry for that. I don't know if other GameStops do this, but my GameStop at a midnight release caters. You could go there and they always have pizza and snacks and drinks and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. If you're not going to buy the game, you can still go there and eat. And they've done some other things for me before. They're polite and they do what they can to please the customer. Again, these employees are trying and they're the one that gets all the flack. Also, some people use GameStop as a bank account. I'm not joking. People do this. Some people do this purposely. I've actually been in a jam before and it really helped me because if I pre-order a game, I'll put $5 to $10 on it a week, or if sometimes I'll pre-order a lot of stuff. I put $5 to $10 a week, and then month, 2 months later, after I have it almost paid off, something will happen. I'll be like, oh shit, yeah, I got all that money at GameStop, and I'll go get it back. And that actually kind of is a bad mark on the employee, and that happens a lot. It happens a lot, and some people do it purposely to use it as like a bank account. I don't know why. Maybe they can't get a bank account anywhere else, but they do. Okay, I'm not really sure about these other local game stores. I have one other one in my town, and it's right across the street from the GameStop, and they are rude as fuck. Oh my god, they're so rude. I should just go in there with a camera one day and just show people how rude they are. And it's the same thing. Let me tell you, I could bring Earthbound up there and they like snub their nose, say they'll give me $50 for it, and then put it on the shelf for $200. I am not joking. I am not joking. These places that deal with retro games and stuff, they basically do the same thing. Okay, so in conclusion, let's not place all the blame on GameStop. Can we have the consumer take some type of responsibility? They buy a game and they know the trade-in policies. Everybody knows. There's thousands of rants that are the complete opposite of mine. So I know everybody has their opinion and most gamers do not go to GameStop, but that is just my 2 cents. Even though I'm sure that most of you have opposing views to what I had just all said, I really hope that you take some of the things that I said into consideration. This is Lady Metal D, and thank you so much for watching.